A lot of people give the black pill a lot of flack. And I am definitely one of those people who give the black pill a lot of flack as well. I think, and I don't mean to be insulting when I say this. I don't mean to be insulting at all throughout this entire podcast, right? So not playing favors here, just observing. I think for someone who falls into the trap of being a hardcore, black pillar, or someone who believes in those thoughts, I think you're a loser, fam. I'm sorry. It's loser behavior. Because listen, at the end of the day, one day you're gonna die. And this is the only life you have. Yes, we could argue that perhaps the eternal sleep is much better than being on Earth. But while you're here, bro, would you not want to make the best of it? Like, would you not want to, try to become the best version of yourself? I feel like a lot of black pillars, sometimes they just end up in this mindset where it's like, because I wasn't genetically blessed or genetically gifted or whatever the case may be, they just can't get into a relationship. But on the flip side, and here's what I find to be pretty interesting, a lot of times when people try to refute these ideas or just theories and stuff like that, it's so interesting how the media actually ends up bringing out examples of what a lot of these men are talking about. There's a lot of guys who are contrarians to this viewpoint, which I think is fine. I think at the end of the day, what we really need is an elevated conversation, not just another moment of people just constantly throwing jabs back and forth. Let's actually have a conversation about this kind of shit. But it's so funny because when I find those guys who speak more so in favor of women as opposed to men, they never bring up these kind of stories, which I find to be very hypocritical. I find that to be insanely hypocritical because it's like, okay, you want to have a real conversation, but it doesn't come off that way. It's not genuine. What it looks like you're pandering. I'm not pandering to none of you motherfuckers, male or female. All I'm doing is taking an objective look at what's being splayed out in front of us. And what I could honestly say is that dating and relationships in today's day and age and in the generations, the past, first of all, the generations in the past had this shit all fucked up, okay? The rules and regulations that they had and the way they were, I'm gonna be completely honest, the way they were oppressing women is exactly why we have this shit going on today. If motherfuckers were just cool, and had their own boundaries and had that for themselves as opposed to oh, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you every time you do something I don't like, which is absolutely insane, by the way. But if these guys were just okay with saying, you know what, if you did something I didn't like, I'm just gonna walk away. No harm, no foul, I'm out. Easy. And they didn't try to oppress, listen, call me an incel, but not an incel, fucking simp or whatever the fuck y'all niggas be saying. But you know what I mean, right? If these guys weren't so up these women's ass and constantly trying to oppress these women, we wouldn't be having the fallout that we're seeing now. And not even to get political, I have no desire to get political here, but the idea or just the phrase that the chickens are coming home to roost is very telling, not only in our own society today, but in our dating and relationship landscape. Brothers, this is crazy. Y'all heard what the first chick said. You can be the best guy in the world. Treat this woman like gold. And she's still gonna leave you. Yo, you could be married for 7 years to Toucan Sam. I don't even mean to say that for real, but guys, he married this for 7 years. For 7 years, this is what he had. I don't mean had a possession, right? That's not what I'm trying to get at. But then she turns into this on the right. Very beautiful. Just being honest. And then left his ass. God damn, what the fuck? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, you can't convince me that this is a good idea. You can't convince me that marriage is a good idea. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm in a relationship right now. Right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do love shorty. I do. I do love fine shit. If you're watching this, I'm joking. But at the same time, though, I have to be completely honest. The idea of getting married seems daunting. Because it just seems like no matter what you do as a guy, you can be a good guy. You can be an asshole. Which, I mean, honestly, it almost sounds like being an asshole is a little more favorable, because it seems like women tend to stick with these guys even though they're assholes. But if you are the good guy, and now I don't want this to be conflated with the good guy who tries to be a nice guy in an effort to get some poontang. I mean, like, you're generally a good, upstanding dude. Like, you've got values, you've got morals, shit like that. And I don't mean that in the sense of like Christianity, because there's some of you Christian motherfuckers as well that are just off your fucking rocker. Some of you are fucking nuts. I'm coming at all y'all. All y'all. Some of you are fucking nuts. Religious people have to be my least favorite people because they are the most hypocritical. They're always out in the streets judging people and criticizing people, but when you see them behind the scenes, they're a completely different animal. And before anyone gets crazy in the comments and tries to come at me for my opinion, I just want to say that my parents were ordained pastors, my mom, and on top of that, I grew up in a Christian household. In addition to that, I have parents who have been to Israel, very into Israeli and Jewish culture. So your boy has read a lot of theological books. I read the Quran. I've read the parts of the scroll, right? And listen, I'm not an expert on this shit, but you know, I've read bits and pieces. I've celebrated Passover, right? I'm on my Drake shit. But listen, what I'm trying to say is a lot of people have opinions on relationships, and a lot of people, especially Christians, like to try to avow, you know, just some of the most obnoxious and BS qualms about dating and relationships. Meanwhile, these are the very exact people who oftentimes end up going through divorce, end up having, you know, cheating throughout the church and all this extra shit. So again, I don't care who's telling me marriage is a good thing. It could be someone who's super religious. It could be someone who's very secular. I just personally think the idea of getting married is fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. Why would you do it? Like, do you really want to live with someone for nearly a decade, and then all of a sudden they wake up one morning and they're like, you know what? I don't love you anymore. Like, fam, what in the fuck? Bro, can you imagine? Son. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's just not something I want to do. Anyway.